Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Okay, so inshallah we'll begin with lesson 1. So what you can do is you can have, yes, we're going to go over all 11 lessons. You can have your Medina books open as well, and you can look through, the old notes you took. You can take out your notebooks, look through some examples so you see it in front of you, and inshallah write something down. So I want everyone to write down at least 11 things, 1 per lesson. Inshallah, it's okay, just listen and take some notes. The notes are up here, so you can write them down and you can take some extra ones. Okay. Not for Arabic, not yet. Inshallah, we will soon. So lesson number 1. The first thing we learned ever in Arabic, the first thing, we learned how to talk about things, right? And we learned how to say something like, هذا كتاب. And you guys tell me, what kind of word is هذا? When you see the word هذا, good, mashallah, yes, it means this. And think about it in English. When we say this, what are we doing? We're pointing at something, right? We're saying, this is a book. Or, you're pointing to something and you're saying, that over there, that's my bed, right? You're pointing to something. So these words are called pointing words. And this is the first thing we learned. We learned this. Give me an example of a sentence. Yes, think very back to the very, very beginning when you only remembered this. You only knew this. What did you guys remember about it? Good. So somebody's saying they remembered it was close by. And they're telling me words for far away things too as well. Good. هذا مسجد. هذا بيت. Right? Exactly, male. So you guys remember, it's a male word. You only use this when you're talking about what kinds of words? What kinds of words do you use هذا for? Use them for male. Good, mashallah. What else? What else? When do you use هذا? Good. For near things, close things. Good. Mashallah, yes. Exactly. So we also know about ذَلِكَ, but inshallah this is in this lesson, right? Inshallah we'll get there. So هذا means this. Yes, the new students, good, mashallah. Yes, Aima is saying male and close. Do we have to write this on just Faizan, inshallah it'll be helpful if you write it down. Write down, Arabic like هذا, or yes, it'll be helpful too because you have to know this stuff off the top of your head. So examples like هذا بيت, you guys said. Exactly, male things that are near to you, like baytun. Baytun is what? What is baytun? What? A house. Good, a house. A house. How do we know it's a house? When we say things like a house. For هذا baytun. A comes from what? The tanween. Good. So whenever we see this tanween, Dun, exactly. So it's a unspecific now. It's a house. It could be my house. It could be Faizan's house. It could be Aima's house. It could be anyone's house. It's a house in general. Yes. Okay. Another example is هذا ولد. هذا ولد means what? هذا ولد. This is a boy. Good. So this is هذا, and a boy is waladun. Where did the is come from? Where did the is come from? So when we translate it, we said this is a boy, right? This is a boy, but I only see هذا as this and waladun a boy. Good. This is, we know it has to be there. In Arabic we don't say it. In Arabic there's no is word. There's no word for is. But in English, yes, it makes sense in English. It's implied because we know it has to be there. This is a boy. Okay. MashaAllah, you guys all understand this very well, right? We've gone over this I don't even know how many times. What does not mean and? Well means and. Well means and. Waladun is one word. It's not walad, it's waladun. A boy. Okay. So again, reviewing, هذا is the pointing word. هذا is the pointing word. And then the thing you're pointing to is The thing you're pointing to is what comes where in the sentence. Hada baytun. The thing you're pointing to comes. It's the noun, exactly. It's the boy, a boy or a house, exactly. So it's the thing that comes after, right? Hada baytun. The baytun comes after. Yes, it's the thing you're pointing to. The word, the pointed word, the thing you're pointing to. A boy. So whenever you say a word like this, like a sentence like hada baytun or hada waladun or hada kitabun, imagine yourself pointing to it. You're saying hada and you're pointing to baytun or kitabun or anything. Rohina, inshallah, it's similar to that rule that, you know, there's something you use to call out, there's something that is called out, but it's different, right? Safa, boy is waladun. Right here. Pointing to something and calling out is different, right? So inshallah we'll get to calling out, how to call out to someone. But for now, this is just pointing to something and talking about it. Saying this is a boy, describing it, right? This is a house. So for now, it's just pointing. Okay, the next lesson. Is there any questions about this? Hada, the tanween, why we use tanween? When we use hada, okay, good, okay. Inshallah we'll move on to the next one. Waladun is a boy, yes. Okay, next lesson was lesson number 2. And what was the rule that we learned? We see right up here, implied word. In this we learned things like hada and zalika in the lesson, but the rule that we learned was is, right? We talked about the word is. No, inshallah we'll do attendance in a little while. Because I know some students come a little bit late, you know, they have things, prayers and everything. Okay, so is, we just talked about this, right? Somebody summarize it for me. Good, Afnan says, is implied. What else do we know about is? Is implied, good. Good, so, yes, no, is, I think yes. Is, that kind of is a question word. I'm talking about just the is that, you know, comes in a sentence like hada something, hada blank, or dhalika blank, that kind of is. I'm sorry, that's a bit confusing. Dhalika, you don't say it in Arabic, good mashallah, yes. You don't say it in Arabic. Implied samiha means that it's not actually there, but we understand it. We know it has to be there. We know, you know, there's an is in there. But it's not really said, is it? In Arabic, do we ever use the word is? No, right? But we know it has to be there. So that's what implied means. Okay. So that's what we know. We know it has to be this is a house. It's not this a house. It's this is a house. We have to have that is in there. That's basically what we learned in this next lesson. We also learned about dhalika. What is dhalika? Yes, exactly, Wamik. This is a book. Dhalika is another pointing word. Good, mashallah. Good. We are talking about statements. Good, yes. We're talking about how to say things like this is a house, that is a house, I am Fatima. Things like that, we use words, we have to use is. It's implied. Good. So dhalika means that. And you guys are telling me we use it for male and far. Good. So it's sort of like hada, it's the same concept, same sort of pointing word. So now when I say dhalika baytun, what's the pointing word? Dhalika baytun. The pointing word is dhalika, good. And what is the pointed word? What is the thing we're pointing to? Okay, Adia, the baytun is the thing we're pointing to. Adia, this kind of is different. This is just a question, like right here. When we say, you know, kitabun hada, that's a question. When we use is in a sentence, it's not really an Arabic term. We just use it to make sense. It's not really an answer. It's just something we use in the sentence. So don't get these is's confused up. Does that make sense? Can we move on? Is there any questions? Yes? Okay. Okay. No questions. Okay, mashallah, yes. There's not much that we learned so far. So inshallah, when we get on to more and more, we'll get more examples in here. And I'll have more questions. So the next thing we learned, we already talked about this, the tanween. You guys tell me, what does a tanween? For anybody who doesn't know what a tanween is, explain. Someone explain to me. Yes, okay, so I see right answers. Exactly. But what is a tanween? Okay, good. Yes, I see it. Tanween is 2 dhammas, 2 fathas. In this case, we're talking about 2 dhammas. So let me see, like, give me a word. Someone give me a word. Any word you want in Arabic that has a tanween. Oh, Baitan we use all the time. Kitaban we use all the time. Give me a good word. Himarun, good. Okay. Qalamun, those are good ones. We'll use all of those. Himarun. How about that? Himarun. What does himarun mean? Himarun, good. A donkey. So this is a donkey. Why did you guys tell me a donkey? Good. Good, Shifa. That's an excellent, excellent thing. Yes, the tanween tells us it's unspecific. Because of this tanween, we said it's a. Like a donkey. Whose donkey is this? Can you tell? Can you tell? No, you can't. It's just any donkey. It's unspecific, unspecific, or indefinite. Those are words you can use to describe it. Indefinite, unspecific, undefined, all of these words. A, any. La, it is like any donkey. Good, Afnan. It's like anyone. It could be, you know, a purple one, a blue one. I know there's no purple blue donkeys, but it could be. Okay. So just like that, this tanween is the thing that tells us A. In English we say A, but in Arabic all we need is a tanween. I know, there is none. So this is it. In Arabic we don't say A, we just use the tanween. We put a tanween at the end. Okay. Exactly. So the last one, the last thing I want you guys to know, remember, where else do you see tanween? Like, where else did we talk about tanween? Where else? We talked about them with like words like nouns. They're always at the end. There was a rule that you guys, okay, good. So you remember about names. Let's say name Kamalun. You know how there's a tanween at the end? Right? There's a tanween at the end. But it's not the same tanween. This isn't the tanween we're talking about. It's at the end of a word, Aliyah. Yes, end of the word. This tanween tells us it's male because it's not translated as a Jamal, right? It's just telling us Kamal, right? We're talking about Kamal here. We're not talking about a Kamal. Like, what does that even mean? Any Kamal. The two dhammas in a name, in a proper noun, it just means it's a boy's name. It don't translate it as a. Right? Kamal is male. That's all we know, right? Kamal is a boy's name. And in boys' names we see 2 dhammas. Male names we see the 2 dhammas. And female names, what do we see? Female names, what do we see? 1 dhamma. So like Zainabu. 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 So in male names we see 2 dhammas. In female names we see 1 dhamma. But it doesn't mean we translate Kamalun as a Kamal. Right? That's not what I'm saying. Don't get those confused, okay? Does this make sense? The new students, do you understand what I'm saying? Tanween, when we see tanween at the end of a word, it means unspecific, any. Yes, some names don't have some female names don't have like my name, Asra. There's other ways you can be female too. The tanween the tanween on words like a donkey, a house, regular nouns, it means a. But when we're talking about names, when we're talking about places, it doesn't mean this. So make sure you're only talking about words like objects, animals, things like that. Not for people. Okay, does that make sense? Yes, okay. So when I say something like هذا كمال, how do you translate that? هذا كمال. هذا كمال. This is Kamal. Did you say this is a Kamal? No, you didn't, right? So just because there is a tanween, because it's a proper noun, because it's someone's name, you just say this is Kamal. This is Kamal. But when you see something like هذا دفتر, how do you translate that? هذا دفتر. Yes, the is still there. The is will always be there. دفتر. هذا دفتر means what in English? Yes, it just sounds weird. It doesn't even make sense. Does there have to be a tanween after a male name in every sentence or only with pointing words? No, you don't have to have a tanween in a sentence. We haven't talked about it yet, but inshallah we'll learn how to, we don't have to say a all the time. Good, a notebook. This time we used a. Do you see the difference when we use a and when we don't? Basically the rule, don't get this confused with, objects and things. Notebook is daftarun. Proper nouns, right? The proper nouns don't have the a. That's all we have to know. Okay, inshallah I'll move on, right? Is it okay if I move on? Okay. The question words are very easy, so this won't take long. There were only 2 so far we learned. What were the first 2 question words we learned? Not necessarily living, non-living, don't think of it like that. Because, places, right? When you say this is America, you don't say this is a America. This is America. So not necessarily living or non-living. Okay, so the first question word we learned was Second one, you guys telling me? Ma. What does each one mean? Is. Good. Is. And then what? Is and what. So those are question words. Okay. So give me a question with is. Any question we want. Basically, is just this question word. Right? It's just a question. Good. So is this a book? A kitabun dhalika. Good. Is that a book? A kitabun dhalika. Sorry. A kitabun dhalika. Is that a book? A masjid and hadha. Is this a masjid? So you have all these questions. Is. What is the answer to an is question? There's 2 answers we can have. Good. So one of them is na'am. Is questions are yes or no questions, right? Second one is la. There's 2 answers, yes and no. Yes and no. So when I say something like, is the book over there? There's 2 answers, right? You could say yes, the book is over there. No, the book is not over there. So basically, right here is used to Yes or no is used for a yes or no question. To confirm something, to deny something, yes or no. But by itself, it's not really used for anything, right? It's just used for the yes or no question. It's just used to ask a question. Right? Does that make sense? It's just a question word. It's not like what, it's not like where, it's not like when, it's just yes or no. It's yes or no question. Okay. And then the second one we learned was ma, right? Ma is what? So, yes, exactly. What is this? Ma hadha. It tells you that the following sentence is a question. Yes, exactly. So, whenever we see at the beginning of a sentence, whenever we see this alif hamza right? Whenever we see that, we know it's going to be a question. That's all we know, it's a question. And then when we use hadha, when we use ma, when we're talking about ma, we use it in things like hadha, right? Ma hadha, ma dhalika, ma tilka, right? What is this? What is that? And good. When do we use what? How do we use what? I'm sorry, I didn't see the question. Please type it again. We use ma for objects and animals. Good. Objects, animals, things, right? Things, objects, animals, non-living things. Not really non-living things, just everything that it's not human, right? Not human, jinn, could mean plus. I'm sorry. Could we use man for animals? No, Shiza, man goes in this category. What if your animal has a name? Then, I mean, that's fine, right? It doesn't really change anything, right? Okay. Yes, inshallah, you can go pray. So yes, we already went over the rules, how to say yes or no. Replying to a question. When do we use yes or no? What kinds of questions? Does just basically mean is in a question? Yes, Shadros, we translate it like that. It's just a question word. And is really the way that it comes out in English. Is sort of the way that it makes sense. Good. So we use yes or no for questions. Good. For questions. Yes or no. Okay. Is everyone good? Okay. Lesson number 2, 3, and 4. So these are the next few lessons, different rules we learn. Okay. One of them is another pointing word. What was our first pointing word? What was our first pointing word? Good. Hadha. So when we want to point to something, we say hadha. This. So hadha, hadha daftarun. I do not get rule number 5. Oh, rule number 5 was very simple. Just yes or no. How to say yes, how to say no. It's just the answer, right? That's all it's saying. Yes or no are answers. Okay, so hadha is a pointing word, and then the second pointing word is dhalika. We learned another one, dhalika. Okay. I'm not sure how much time we have. So dhalika is that. Good, okay. So you guys remember this, hadha and dhalika. What's the difference again between hadha and dhalika? Yes, Afra. We're not there at all of them yet. We only have hadha and dhalika right now. Good. So someone says hadha and dhalika. The difference is dhalika is far, right? Far. It's far away. Good. So dhalika is far away. Good. Okay. That's far away. Both of them are male, right? We use both of them for male. I mean, always forget for some reason. What are question words? Question words are words you can use for questions, right? When you want to ask a question. And it means, it's sort of like the question like, is this something? Is that something? Sort of like is. And you answer it with a yes or no. So it's basically like a yes or no question. Okay. So that, inshallah, I think you all know. Zalika is that, for things that are far away. Yes. Ramik, like, no. What is your name isn't a yes or no question. What is your name is a my name is Asra question. You answer it properly. If you ask something like, is your name Ramik? That's a yes or no question. Is your name Ramik? Yes, my name is Ramik, right? So that's a yes or no question. Okay. So the next rule we learned another question word. Okay, good, alhamdulillah. Next question word we learned was, so far we have ma. And then our last question word is man, good. Our last question word is man. So what does man mean in English? Man means who, good. So ma meant what? We already went over this. Ma meant what? When do we use the to? Can use it besides, okay, so everything besides objects and animals. So objects go here. Good, Junaid. Objects go here, animals go here. Good, mashallah, I see things like jinns, angels. Don't say living, non-living, it's very confusing. Don't say that. Because living, you know, people, we think animals are living, right? So don't say that, that doesn't work. Humans, good, okay, so I forgot to write humans here. Humans. Okay, things, plants, maybe, you want to put here. Okay. So that makes sense, difference between man and ma. Like, would I say, okay. Plants are living but they can't think. Exactly, Aima. They don't go under who. So when we read this is what it summarizes as. Man, things that have, persons who have intelligence, right? Persons who have intelligence. Not objects, like, you know, your pen doesn't really think, right? Your pen doesn't, you know, think, oh, am I going to do this? No, right? You're human, right? Humans think, angels think, jinn think, right? Does animals go under ma? Right. Animals go under ma, right here. Ma is for animals, objects, plants, right? We mainly use it for humans when we're talking about, you know, man hadihi. Who is this? It wouldn't make sense if we use, you know, who is this for a plant, right? I know that animals, they only do, you know, what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells them to do, right? That's what instincts are. They don't think for themselves. They don't have, you know, like human intelligence. So we use what? So animals go under what? So when we say, you know, what is this? This is a donkey. Ma hadha himarun, right? Okay, you guys tell me, I'm going to give you an object. Tell me if it's man or ma. How about my calculator? Ma or man? Calculator. Good, ma, mashallah, yes. How about my pet goat? My pet goat. Is it ma or man? Good, ma. So even for my goat, it's ma. How about for Rabia? Let's see. Would it be ma or man for Rabia? Good, man. Because she's a girl, right? She's a human. So we use man. Who is this? This is Rabia. Okay. How about, I'm going to give you one like, okay, don't all type it more than once, okay? How about for something like my blanket? Good, mashallah. So ma, exactly. So ma and man, they're two different words. They're both question words. One of them is who. One of them is what. They don't know what is right. Okay, yes, they only do what they're meant to do, right? Mashallah, yes, it was very easy. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to give you, I'm going to do attendance. And then we'll, inshallah, have breaks. So right now we'll take attendance. I want you all to type P for present. Mashallah, yes. I know, I hope that we all learned a little bit something, or we were reminded, or maybe we forgot this, or something like that. Did you all write something down? I hope everyone wrote at least one thing down, or wrote something in Arabic. And the new students too, I hope that everyone was listening and they understood something. So inshallah, when we move on to our new lessons, then it will be very, very, very easy. This stuff, we won't ever have a problem. Good, mashallah. Okay, so I will give you your 5-minute break now. How does that? Okay, I think everyone typed in their attendance. Please type it in, make sure you have your ID. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Next class, inshallah.